Josh.
Happy Monday, Nakia.
It's like I just saw you or something.
It's like that. I mean, it's probably because you were just in the same room with me a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
talking about the SideKick Power Hour. So we're about to do so.
Yeah. Well, tell us about your buttons.
Well, it's Pride Month, everyone, and as you all know, Pride Month is a very important month. Pride Month is an important month. Always, but I think now more than ever, Pride Month is more important because we have a lot of things going on in the world. So I think it's great if we share our pride as much as possible. We've got all sorts of buttons here that I'm wearing. We've got rainbow flag button. This is the original rainbow flag, I think, not one of the more current contemporary ones. But we've got "Love is Love," which is a phrase that was made popular by a cis-het white Latino man on an award show when he did his acceptance speech. And then "Don't be a drag, just be a queen," which is everyone's favorite phrase. RuPaul.
From the RuPaul. Well, we're going to get into RuPaul a little bit later.
We have to, because a lot of things happen
A
over
lot of
this.
drama on RuPaul this week.
We've got Jalen in the chat saying hello. Good evening, everyone.
Hello, Jalen. Welcome back to Power Hour. If you're in the comments, chatting it up with folks, watching us live, let us know. We'd appreciate it.
Chunkahedron's here too. Hello, Chunkahedron.
The big C.
All around the world right now. We're in the UK, we're in Taiwan, my goodness, and the US, of course, because that's where we are. So
we have
yeah.
What'd you say?
We're getting around.
We are getting around. And we had a little snafu last week.
Did we?
Yeah.
What happened?
Well, we got suspended.
Oh, well, that happened. Yes, we did have a little bit of a snafu.
You want to talk about it?
We played too many songs and too many songs that apparently have very, very strict copyright owners. So at one point, YouTube just decided not to let us continue streaming. So we didn't know what happened, but thankfully our nice comments let us know that something was going on.
Yeah.
and voila, that happened. So what I did was although oddly enough, I don't think anything happened on Facebook or anywhere else, which is really weird because usually Facebook is where we get like stripped down, which is interesting too because Facebook stripping things down, not really something they want to do on Facebook because it tends to be very family friendly.
Sure.
Anyway, that's not important. So what we did was I thought if I took it down and then deleted the offensive material, I guess is what we'll call it, offending material.
But it was music. It was because we were playing music videos.
Yeah, it was just music videos. Music videos.
It was Warner Brothers that pulled us down eventually.
It was only the specific song. It was that one specific song that came up that we really liked the aesthetics for.
Aurora?
Yeah, I think so, yes. The one that we really enjoy. That's the reason that things went all kaput.
I wonder if it was because it looked like there was nudity.
No, because I tried to upload it for the Patreon, the full thing. I wanted to be able to play.
You got dinged again?
And it got blocked again. Like it wasn't viewable. Like nobody could watch it.
Well, so is that going to get us like kicked off YouTube?
No, it has nothing to do with that. It says, yeah, I'm plenty of people who stream and do much worse than what we're doing. We just played some songs. That's all. So they were very clear. This is not a strike or anything. This is just the way it is. So
that's the way love goes.
That's right.
Clockwork Bear is here now. Clockwork Bear, where are you located? That's a nice beard in that photo, by the way. So I was just singing a little Janet Jackson because what you said last week when this happened was the next time we do what song should Josh know this week, I should sing them.
That's right. And I think that is a very effective way of using your voice.
I agree. So I was singing a little bit of Janet Jackson right there. Robert and I went to see Janet Jackson last night
Well,
with our
how is
friends.
she?
She was great. Yeah. We went with our friends Justin and Collie, and I realized now that I don't think we took any photos or video of Justin and Collie with us. So we didn't actually get to sit together because we bought our seats at separate times, but we were on the same aisle.
And you took pictures of yourself, I'm assuming.
Yeah, yeah. In fact, there's a one little video clip that I did just remember that I shot last night that I wanted to show here.
Well, while you look for that, Clockwork Bear confirms he's in the hills of Kentucky.
Okay.
You're near Kentucky when you grew up, right?
Alabama is not necessarily near Kentucky now.
It's nearer than I am.
Sure. Well, I'll give you that. Yeah. Let's see. Let's edit with QuickTime Player so I can pull this up over here.
Speaking of Alabama, I just met
Yes, sir.
somebody on Twitter who was talking to me about the show, and he's from Alabama.
I'll be.
So every time I hear Alabama, I think of you.
Now, can you hear this video? I need to know if you can hear it.
Yeah.
Now, what I was trying to record, but you couldn't hear, was us singing along to her song, When I Think of You. But there had been this woman behind us. There were these three women, probably between mid 30s to mid 40s. One of them at least my age. I'm 48. And they were from my generation. What do you call me again?
My generation.
I'm Gen X.
You're Gen X, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so they were Gen Xers probably, and maybe one of them had like a kid with them or something.
You were 70, 75?
Yeah, 75.
Yeah, then that's Gen X.
So they were really into Janet Jackson, like big fans, and this one woman in particular had this incredible voice that was, I don't even know who I could compare it to except maybe Miss Piggy. Okay. When she would get really worked up over Janet. I'm going to try to recreate this. Hang on. Let me step back from the mic. You could hear her and she would be like, "Yes, Janet, come on, bitch. Get it, work it." Like, that's not even remotely close to how, like, it was. I'm sorry, I think I scared the dog. It was pitch perfect. Like, she was, that sounded more like Macy Gray just then, like, "Yes, Janet Jackson, I love you," or maybe that it almost sounds like Marge Simpson, Homer.
I was like, where did you go in that direction? Now you're Marge.
She kind of did sound like that though. But anyway, she would say just shit like she would instead of calling her Janet, she would call her Janita. She was this like Latino woman, and she was like, "Yes, Janita, you work it, Janita." And she had this ponytail that Janet did that was just, it was truly 40 inches. Speaking of RuPaul, it was truly a 40-inch unit, and she would just whip it around every now and then, and and like pull it down, and that woman would go, "You want that ponytail, bitch."
She knows her hairography, that Janet Jackson.
She really does. And listen, she was phenomenal. Like, she really put on a fantastic show.
I think the only song I know by Janet Jackson is from the movie The Nutty Professor.
And that song is...
I don't know it. I just know I would hear it and I would go, "Oh, I know that's Janet Jackson."
Somebody in the comments let us know what song he's talking about. And if it's one I know that appeared in The Nutty Professor, then I will try to sing it.
It's from the credits of the Nutty Professor. I know because that's
That
when I
doesn't help me because I can't even remember if I ever saw the Nutty Professor.
well, it's all right if you didn't. But I worked in the movie theater that summer, and that
Tell us
summer
about that.
when I worked in the movie theater in that summer,
Yeah, I want to hear a little bit about this.
this was the summer before my senior year of high school, and
Okay.
I worked as a person in a cinema, and I think it was
When you say cinema, I think of like a really cute, like Art Deco art house
oh,
kind
I
of.
wish. No, this was one of those mall cinemas.
Okay, so this is,
Um,
gotcha. So this is the movies. Gotcha.
this is a movie theater, yes.
Yeah.
I think it was Hoyt Cinema is what the brand was. It's now Regal. I know they've been bought by Regal, but I think at the time it was still Hoyt's.
Hmm.
Speaking of which, speaking of cinema, Anthonics is at AMC right now watching Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. The
Well, I will be
Rated R
there.
design.
I'm going to see it tomorrow in IMAX.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I worked at the cinema from July till about end of September, but I needed to focus on my starring role in The Odd Couple in high school in my senior year. So I had to choose between one or the other, and so
When you played Oscar.
I played Felix. Obviously, my director loved. We all knew I was playing Oscar, Felix, and the other person who got Oscar was going to play Oscar. That was just that was how it was going to happen, and so what they did during the auditions for fun is they had both of us audition for the other roles, and it was just a disaster on both counts because neither of us were naturally built for Oscar or Felix, vice versa. Um, so so I worked for the cinema, and this was the year that X-Men was out. So I saw X-Men all the time, the end credits of that. I saw the Next Professor all the time, the end credits of that. Also, I saw that nobody went to see that Sylvester Stallone movie, Get Carter. It was in the movie theater for a long time, but nobody went to see it. But
I don't remember that movie. I don't think I saw it.
nobody did. So, Chunky Hedron's very jealous of you, by the way, and he also
Why?
suggests because you saw Janet Jackson, I would imagine. And then he
Oh,
also suggests doesn't really matter. I don't know if that's a
oh,
Janet
and
Jackson.
she did sing that last night. Hang on, I got to pull up the lyrics because
Well, while you're looking for that, Clockwork Bear just wanted to pipe up and that he's a native of New Jersey, not Kentucky, but he lives there now. So.
gotcha.
Yeah, so it was interesting working for the movie theater. I really it was a time where you feel like you have to do lots of busy work. They didn't like when you just did nothing. That's kind of people I worked for at that time. So
Gotcha.
everything was done, and we just had to make it look like we were busy by cleaning things we already cleaned. And it was a very odd experience to do all that. I got to see cinema movies for free though, so that was nice. And I also got to eat ice cream for free because we got to use the ice cream machine. Um, but that was about it. I was not allowed to run the projectors because I was too short. They would not let me teach me. They said, "No, you're too short. We can't
Aw.
run the
Were they
projector."
worried you would get like caught in the cogs or something?
I think I just couldn't. I couldn't reach certain things that needed to be done.
It's
Again,
not like you're a rodent. You're like they're not that big.
this was pre-digital cinema, so
Well, I guess that's true. When I worked at the movies in the 80s, it was they were huge. And the platters, there were 3 rows of platters, so you would have needed a ladder to do the top
yeah.
platter. Yeah.
And I think it was still this way when I was working there, but no, it wasn't the clumps, Anthony. It was definitely the first Nutty Professor.
Yeah, well, I don't know I don't know how that song goes, so I can't really sing it. But I'm pretty sure she played a little bit of it last
And
night.
Hedron says it would end up like that Charlie Chaplin film if I worked in the movie theater, and it would definitely be a bit of a disaster, I think. Let me see if I can find the song I'm talking about. Nutty.
I just found it.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I didn't. I'm not going to play it.
I know, but at least recite some of the lyrics so I can confirm.
Oh, I closed the lyrics.
The chorus.
Sorry. Yeah.
Chorus. I need the chorus.
Doesn't really matter what your friends are telling you. It doesn't matter what your family's saying to you. It just matters I'm in love with you. It only matters that you love me too. It doesn't matter if they won't accept you. I'm accepting of you and the things you do. Just as long as it's you, nobody but you, baby, baby. My love for you, unconditional love too. Got to get up.
I think this part I know. Yes.
And yeah, that's my, yeah. Even And it is Nutty Professor to the Clumps.
Oh well, then it's the wrong one. No, because I know it was the first one. Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it is the Clumps. Maybe I'm wrong, Anthony. I can't remember. Thank you for schooling me on this and taking me back to the past. The Big Board Project says hello, by the way.
Hello, Big Boy Project.
And we did get a question for how are we from
And Coxsweet.
Cokeswee, I think.
I'm going with Coxsweet.
I'm not surprised.
Or if you count the first W in the name, Wawi.
But how are you, Nakia?
I'm well.
I know you weren't feeling well for a couple days.
I did get strep, but it's gone. So
That's magic of modern medicine.
yeah. So things are well on my side. I know we've got Paul in the studio tonight. I'm really excited to have Paul
I
on
am
the
excited to have
show.
Paul visiting us as well. We
Um,
have two wonderful Crewniverse family members coming home to roost tonight. So
yes. And you know, if Paul is in the backstage area and he can hear me, I would say, you know, try to get a little more a little less light coming from below you. Yeah, so you if possible move the light a little higher. And ooh, much better already. All right. So, we are going to be talking tonight about the trip that I took this past weekend. But that's, you know, the main reason that I got to take the trip was because it was your birthday. Now, in full disclosure, you had already
birthday observed. Just
birthday observed, correct. You had already actually asked me to come this weekend to film.
yes,
A few weeks ago, and I had to say no.
yes,
And we're going to talk about. I want you to remind me to bring that up when Paul is on. Okay,
I will.
And then you know, I was able to get Robert to go up, and like I said, we're going to talk a little bit more about that. But none of it would have happened without bringing in our next guest. This guy, you know, dreamt it up and put it together with our other guest who'll be on later this evening, Stuart Kiczek. And I'm certainly hopeful we're going to be premiering another episode or another issue. What do we call them? Another I guess another episode of Stew Snacks.
Yeah, sometime
It's
hopefully
a segment.
Another segment of Stew Snacks.
Yeah, yeah. So we're looking forward to that, and of course Paul's involved in Stew Snacks, so we're going to do that all when Paul and Stuart are both here. But for now, let's get our good friend in the studio. Please welcome to the stage, Paul Antzoulis.
Thank you for having me on. It's been way too long. I like my song, by the way.
Yeah.
I don't know that song. What is it?
I don't know if I sounded cool. Hi, Josh. Hi, Nakia.
Paul.
Hello, Baker. I see Baker hiding down there somewhere.
Yeah, she's back there.
Well, Marge Simpson scared her earlier, so.
How's my lighting? Is my lighting better now?
It looks great. You look great.
Yeah.
I love the new shirt.
Thank you.
It is a nice shirt. You both are wearing cute shirts. Your shirt, obviously, Josh, is Golden Girls, which again we're going to be talking about tonight because while you did not turn the 50 golden, we did celebrate golden in golden style by the party being decorated with lots of Golden Girl balloons and Golden Girl swag. Paul, at what point were you like, man, I've got to pull off a surprise party?
Well, once a few years back, Josh was bragging how we couldn't surprise him. He couldn't be surprised. We couldn't get one over on him. He was very smug when he was saying these things, and me and Stuart were just like,
smug.
Yeah. So basically, I was just like, no, I can get you with some planning. And that plan was put into motion about a month ago. And yeah, here
That's
we
really
are.
wild. So you've been thinking up the plan for 3 years, and then that's how long it took you.
No, I was waiting for the right time,
Yeah.
and the
Well,
time was this year.
and to be fair, Josh is constantly filming something, so working around the schedule can be rough, I'm sure.
There was a lot of hurdles and a lot of obstacles
Yeah.
that went along with this. Yeah, well, Josh decided to start filming his new series called Brooklyn Butcher. Uh, he decided to start filming the week before his birthday. And I was like, maybe start filming Brooklyn Butcher in June. It wasn't the best idea. And yeah, he won't listen to me. He's like a runaway train. He's just gonna keep
Oh, he
going.
won't listen to me either.
Yeah, so I've told several people. Yeah, he just wasn't hearing it. He wanted to start in June.
Right.
Well, to be fair, I did take advice and added it to my own. I put my spin on your advice. I listened to you and I took your advice. And what I did was I took it and I crafted it into a way that I will make a shorter, less grandiose series at this moment, which means, hey, it will still be accomplishing something, but not as much work.
Mm. Well, I had other reasons for for you not start filming in this month.
Logically, yeah. But as Big Word Project says, I am a workaholic. So
Yes. So
Well, the first step is admitting you need help. So
yeah, yeah. So yeah, so that was not easy. Trying to
well,
beat Josh to the scheduling was the hardest part.
and let's let folks at home know Josh did film this weekend. He still got to do this. He literally had his cake and ate it too.
that is 100% accurate.
Yeah.
But part of that's
No,
because one of the actors literally has one weekend free for the next 4 months. And that was this weekend. So
Well, it worked out perfect. But that actor, of course, is Alexander Cologne, who was on hand yesterday. We're going to take a look at that video shortly when Stuart and Paul are both in the studio together. Um, so, Paul, who was the first person that you filled in once you had this idea that you were going to try to pull off?
well, it was first. It popped into my head, so I guess I was the first one. But I was gonna need help, and since Stuart was in the room while Josh was being all braggy about not being able to get surprised, I figured he was the first choice, and he loved the idea. He wanted in on it. He was uh, he was an essential piece to pulling off this event, and I couldn't have done it without him. I couldn't have done it without you. I couldn't have done it without Ashley. I had a lot of help, but it was challenging. Hi, Baker.
She hears you talking and she's very interested. She's
Hi,
like, I
Baker.
remember that guy.
when we went to Texas to visit Nakia, Paul and I, Baker was very popular with Paul and vice versa, I think. So
Yeah,
Baker's
absolutely. Well,
awesome.
it's hard not to love Baker. We've got a couple of friends that are still a little nervous around her because she's big and she loves to jump on people and try to hug them. But lay down, lay down. Your daddy Robert's on his way home. He'll be here in 15 minutes, and then you can have your
Belly rub.
So you reached out to Stu. He immediately said yes. Obviously, you guys started planning it. I'm also going to wait until Stuart gets here to talk about the alternative version because, well, I guess actually you said you're going to save it.
This
I
is
think you
something
should save it. I think you should save it.
I don't want to reveal what I was going to do because I still want to do that one. And
Listen, every person that I was like, somebody that would like understand how difficult it would be to pull it off. I discussed this with. they were like, "Oh my god, that would be the most epic surprise birthday for that person ever." So, but this
Yeah.
one was really good because you guys, it is the other one would have required a lot more work, but it could be done. But this one actually worked out really well because it involved, Josh's sensibilities, if you will. We know Josh loves to talk. We know Josh loves being a guest on other people's podcasts. We know that any chance that either of us get to promote what we're doing, we're going to pop on somewhere. And that Josh is going to be really excited to probably connect with the person that you were, supposed to be taking him to a podcast for. So I just think it ended up being brilliant. And you can see it in the video. Josh was legitimately surprised.
Yeah. The trick is, and the hardest part in pulling something like this off is arousing zero suspicion, zero.
Right.
Now, there've been previous attempts in our circle of friends, and none were really successful. So,
Really? Like
yeah,
who? Give us an example.
I've tried to do this for Paul like 3 times now.
Oh, and you can't get this over on Paul?
Well, because our friends tell him.
Oh, well.
well, I wouldn't say tell him, they stumbled is I think a better word. They made crucial errors in judgment,
Some of them
and
thought I told you, and then like, oh wait a minute, you weren't supposed to know that. And I'm like, nope, he wasn't supposed to know that. Thanks so much. Thank you. You're dead to me.
yeah. So recently, they tried to surprise me for my 50th, and there was a bunch of suspicious things that were going on, and then I just knew the right people to grill, and they just folded. It was too easy. So yeah. So arousing zero suspicion was my goal, and I achieved that by threatening everyone.
Yeah, let's talk about this because multiple people basically said on Saturday that they were all physically worried about being harmed if they were going to say anything, and apparently there were multiple reminders. Were you just did you have like a timer like were you like Siri make me a timer or whatever and
Well, this thing just kept evolving. Plans changed. I felt like an air traffic controller, constantly making like changing plans, or just basically I was steering Josh into things happening. But the reason I had to keep doing it is because from experience,
mm,
it just pulling off the perfect surprise experience. There was just two rules. Two rules. Number one was no one's available for filming on the
Saturday.
third,
Right.
which nobody was because I
Right.
beat him to the scheduling. And number two, you're not allowed to discuss it. You're not allowed to bring up birthday to Josh unless he brings it up first.
Right.
Now, those are the only two rules, and one person in particular couldn't follow that, but everything worked out in the end, and we pulled it off. So,
Um anybody at home have an idea of which one person from the Crewniverse couldn't follow the second rule?
We don't want to call that person out.
I mean, everything worked. I mean, listen,
Take
a
your
lot of people
guess in the
think they're
comments.
helping. A lot of people think they're helping, and less is more in a situation like this. And Josh is intelligent enough to, oh, why is this person who's never cared
Right.
about my birthday all of a sudden cares about my birthday a lot?
Right. Yeah.
That's a big tell. So I just had to rein that wild card in. And
Well,
plus this person spends a lot of time with Josh.
right.
So that was my most concern, and also, probably actually it was the last person notified about this whole thing.
Well, I was notified fairly early. I feel like because you basically because I knew the original plan.
Yes.
Well,
You
So-
were probably
Chuck-
the third person.
Chunkahedron says it was season 1 Carla that Paul was worried about.
It was. That's exactly right.
Well, Carla's a ghost everywhere, so she knows all. So
Season 1 Carla is one mouthy woman, by the way. She just loves to chat. So
I think she's here, not too far from here. I could go get
she's
her.
definitely not too far from where you are, or me, for the matter. So
Actually,
You need
you
to
might be a
quit.
little closer.
You need to stop.
Hi, Baker.
Do you want to say hello?
what Big Boy Project does, he says, "Hi, doggy."
Hi, Baker.
I don't want to lock you out.
Hello.
Ow. Oh, quit it now.
Aw.
You're on camera. Say hi.
Hi, Baker.
No.
Hi,
Look
Baker.
over
Hi, Baker.
there. Look over
Hi,
there.
Baker. In the meantime,
No. Okay, go away.
hi, Baker.
Go on. Your daddy Robert will be here in 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Okay.
Oh, is that the mailman? Is that the mailman?
Let's go.
Not the Carla slander. I'm sorry, Big Boy Project. It's Carla. Carla is very easily slandered.
You'll notice I'm wearing a SideKick Productions shirt. I just want to remind folks that you can get your own SideKick Productions shirt over at sidekicksupermarket.com. We'd love to have you over there. And please head over to sidekickproductions.org and check out all the stuff that we're into. We really appreciate it. We had a great show last week.
We did. It was. I wish we could watch the whole thing.
Yeah, we I mean,
Well, we can watch
not all of it. I mean, the interviews are still there.
Yeah, you can watch all the interviews with Grey Delisle and our second guest.
Joseph Sless.
I was testing you because you have trouble with rubber bands in your mouth.
Well, I don't have them in now, but I'm still having trouble because I'm still trying to relearn how to use my lips when I'm talking. I still don't have full 100% feeling at all here.
Really?
Yeah, like when I suck a dick, I have to basically say like, "Hey, I can't feel some of my gums and my teeth and most of this lip. So if I get a little toothy, you gotta let me know."
It's very nice that they are.
Put some wax on your.
Right. Yeah, here I got it right here. There you go.
So you were the third person that Paul told then.
Yeah, he was.
I think the third or the fourth.
Yeah, he was. He had to be in the front of the list. He's also number one. It's Nakia. He was useful in this whole thing, but
Very
he
useful.
wasn't the furthest away. And I thought that would be that would boost the surprise if he was here, and Robert.
Yeah, and that's literally what he said was. I mean, look, there's no pressure. I totally get it if you can't make it, or if you and Robert both can't make it. We'll take whatever we can get. And I'll keep you posted on everything. And then as soon as he locked everything in, I started looking at I really started looking at travel stuff even before that because I wanted to know what shows we're playing. I was trying to early on. I was like, man, if we could have the party on like a Thursday night, then I could just stay Friday, Saturday, and Sunday and film Butcher Bear.
Butcher Bear.
Butcher Bear is my friend who is a great musician. Follow them on Instagram, Butcher Bear. But we should have Butcher Bear on here, actually.
Let's get them on there, and then I'll try to confuse him with the Brooklyn Butcher the whole time.
But it didn't work out that way. So Robert and I instead went up the day before we arrived on Friday. This past Friday, we landed at 12:30, which meant we had to be up at 4 a.m. on Friday.
But worth it because you got to do some fun stuff.
We did. We stayed right in Midtown, which is where the escape. I basically said, "Show me where the escape room is," and I booked a hotel that was 2 blocks away. And the funniest thing is it was 4 blocks away or 4 avenues away from Alex's apartment.
Yes, from where you usually stay.
Yeah, where I usually stay. Yeah, and It was a really cute hotel, the AC Marriott, Times Square. Shout out to Davon. They were really, really great when they checked us in early. We got checked in early. We did a little walking around, a little window shopping. We had like a Starbucks croissant from across the street just to hold us over until dinner because we had an early dinner reservation at Bond 45, Times Square Italian restaurant. I have to say, I thought it was going to be kind of like, a little corporate-y kind of vibe or whatever, but it was really nice. I really enjoyed it.
I don't think I've ever been. I've seen it. I've never
Yeah.
been there, but I've seen it.
It's got an upstairs and a downstairs, and the downstairs is the main dining area, and I think the upstairs is mostly a bar. But the food was fantastic. The service was great. Our server was cute, which was a bonus. Um, Definitely family, sweet guy. And the manager stopped by, said hello. It was good. We opted to not do dessert there. We instead ended up getting these incredible chocolate chip milkshakes from Max Brenner, which now has a Times Square like mini pop up thing.
Really?
Yeah, they have hot cookies, hot cocoa, and milkshakes.
And it was a chocolate chip milkshake?
Chocolate chip, I think so. Yeah,
That sounds really good.
it was so fucking good. It was just really, really good. So after that, well, really, while we were doing that window shopping, the wild thing is we ended up bumping into Luxmore, London. We were walking.
Speaking of 40-inch wigs,
right? We were walking, and I saw her in front of us, and I thought to myself, "Wow, they have incredible legs. Like their legs were incredible, very long, and the little shorts, the booty shorts or whatever she was wearing, were all the way up, as high as they could get, and ball cap, nose ring, little tank top, super cute, on the AirPod, talking on the phone to somebody, talking like Drag Race T. You could just hear, and her voice was so
Really?
obviously, yeah. She was like, yeah, and then this goes, and then from All Stars, blah 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 blah. Whoa. And I just kind of, I told Robert, I said, that's Lux. He was like, I think so too. So we waited one block, I think, and we all kind of had to stop, before we crossed or whatever. And I double confirmed. And when we crossed the street, I said, hey, are you Lux? Yeah. Can I get a photo? And she's like, yeah. So we took a picture. Super sweet. Hopefully she ends up on All Stars. I'd love to see her on All Stars.
I think they should do well on there. I think I can see that being something that happens.
Yeah. I could too.
I showed Paul, speaking of All Stars, I showed Paul the Snatch Game of Love this weekend.
Oh, yeah. What did you think?
Paul, what
It
did you
was
think?
hilarious. I think I liked the second set better than the first set.
Okay.
I wasn't impressed with the first set, except for, was it the Shirley Temple that was in the first set?
No. You're thinking of Jennifer Coolidge in the first one.
Yeah, the first set was, Jennifer Coolidge was hilarious, and then the second set they were all hilarious. So yeah, it was funny, very funny. I love Snatch Game. I want to be on a Snatch Game again.
Oh yeah, that's right.
That's fun. We need to bring that back.
Did you guys remember at home we did the Snatch Game? That was 2020, right?
I think so. It was certainly earlier on, I think, in Power Hour history.
Yeah.
So, one of my favorites. I would do it again.
Power Hour fam, if you know what episode that was and you want to paste the link in, we will pull up a clip. That was a lot of fun. It really, really was. Hang on one second. Hey, Robert, you want to pop in real quick while we're live and say hello to Paul and Josh?
Baker's got to get the belly rubs first. Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hi, Robert.
It's been a big day for Robert. Today was WWDC, which is the worldwide developer conference that Apple hosts every year and makes big announcements. And today they made a huge announcement with the Vision Pro, which is a game changer, and I'm super excited about for many reasons that we can talk about in another episode.
Jalen and Chunky Hedron both say hi to Robert, by the way.
Yes, but freshly home from work, so let Robert get out and go get those belly rubs. Go cuddle up. Let Robert shut the door behind him.
Big Boy Project agrees that Shirley Temple was very funny.
Yeah, that was so funny.
Jimbo is one of a kind.
I had no idea. I was like, how is Jimbo going to do Shirley Temple? How is that a good choice? And then I was like, oh, of course. It's a great choice.
And you know what? It's because Jimbo just doesn't give a fuck. Jimbo just does what's funny.
But then Jimbo came out in that runway outfit.
Well,
amazing.
So good.
Amazing.
Yeah. So Paul.
So you saw Lux Noir. How about then you
saw Lux Noir?
We saw a Broadway show.
And we saw Peter Pan Goes Wrong, which was absolutely hilarious. You guys have seen it, right?
I've seen it. Paul has not seen it.
Oh, Paul has not seen it, even though it's got really attractive Henry Lewis.
I was busy that day.
He was probably prepping for the surprise party that day.
He might have been. That was 4 weeks ago, a month ago.
It was Andrew's birthday, so I think it was April 16th.
16th, yeah.
Yeah, and did you see the same cast I saw, or did you see Neil Patrick Harris?
I saw Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, and who did he play?
The same the rotating role of the narrator. Who is the narrator for you?
You know what? I don't know. Let me see.
Usually they get a celebrity for that role.
Yeah, it was somebody, and I kept thinking, where do I know them from? I'm pulling it up right now.
If you haven't ever seen this group, I can't remember their company name right now. Mischief Theater Company, I think is what they're called. They're the people who make The Play That Goes Wrong, and they also have a TV series called The Goes Wrong Show, which you can watch on stream it and everything. It is absolutely hysterical. It is so funny. And I cannot get enough of watching it. I watch it again and again, actually, because it's just hilarious. Chunky Hedron knows who we're talking about, Henry Lewis.
Yeah, Harry Kershaw is who played the narrator in Francis. And I don't know who that person is. It looks like the credits are mostly theater and mischief stuff. Henry's photo, by the way, on this website, we got to get him to update his photo. That does not look like him.
They also have a show called Mischief Movie Night. Is it a live show, Chunky Hedron, or is it filmed? Paul, or anybody, if they wanted to see a filmed production of Peter Pan Goes Wrong, they actually did this a couple of years ago as a filmed production, and then now they're bringing it to the stage. So it's a live show, Movie Night. So. But they're really, really, really funny and so much fun. The Play That Goes Wrong is available on Broadway. This is a limited run with the original cast of Peter Pan Goes Wrong and the original cast and the creators of The Play That Goes Wrong. I feel like I'm promoting them tonight.
Well, I mean, we're just talking about the stuff that Robert and I did before we saw you, and then that came up.
What did you have to do? Paul was very strict for you, and you had strict instructions to follow too.
My strict instructions were that I needed to log off of any app that you were on. So I had no Growler, no Bigger City. I don't think you're on anything else. I did forget to log out of W Bear, but nobody noticed because I never opened it.
That's fair. That's responsible.
Yeah. And then I would have just had to play like, that's so weird.
Oh, I guess
Nakia
I've been
R.
hacked again, and someone's stealing my identity.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that would have been even better. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
what did you do to me on Saturday? Because I don't know what would have happened if I said yes to this.
So right as I was walking up with Robert to the party, we were turning the corner and I could see the area we were supposed to be walking toward, and I was looking for the spot, looking for Paul. I opened my phone, I sent Josh a message and said, hey, if you got a quick if you got time, I'm ready. I could do a watch back right now. And I didn't say whether or not I was talking about Demon Doctor, which is because I'm so late on Demon Doctor right now, or A Taste of Youth, because there's another edit of Taste of Youth that I haven't seen yet. And either one, Josh would be like normally just jump the chance if he had the time to knock one of those out, because he knows how hard it is for me to find time to do those. So he was like, "Oh, I'm just leaving the house for my thing." I was like, "Oh,
I guess I'm not doing the podcast. Bye. That would have been
yeah."
funny.
Well, I knew you weren't going to give up the podcast.
That could have backfired.
And then the last thing I said to him was, have fun of the podcast. I'm so proud of you.
You did. I'm like, oh, thank you. I'm so proud of us, as I typically say.
Oh yeah, you did.
That was funny.
It was funny, and it was so good to connect with. I wish we could have just had all the Crewniverse members who were there yesterday here. I'm going to pull up a photo real quick of everybody that was there in the after thing, and I posted this on my Instagram, obviously, after. But let me just open it here with preview, and then I will share it over here.
Meanwhile, what I loved most about Nakia's post on Instagram. Sorry, I have a lisp. Let's make fun of my speech impediment. What I loved most about this is not that this was the first photo in Nakia's Instagram post of 6 or 7 photos. The first thing he posted in his Instagram post is a picture with him in Lux Noir, London. Not me, or not the birthday or anything like that. He made sure he posted it with Lux Noir. I'm like, of course, Nakia is very savvy.
You got to post it in the order things happened.
There we go.
Well, that's what I was doing, was posting it in the order it happened.
I know, but I can still tease you for the funniness of it. So
sure, of course.
This is a great photo of all of us, though, at the party.
It is. Here's a picture of us with Henry from the play that Peter Pan Goes Wrong.
He's so funny. I'm assuming he's a lot of his character.
He seemed really fun. Yeah, I love this photo of Josh and I.
I too love this photo with our spirit Golden Girls.
I love this tidal wave promo.
That does look like a tidal wave promo, or a bigger Vegas promo.
Yeah, where is Ashley? Oh, there's Ashley in this photo. I have this really cute picture of Ashley that I want to show real quick. She's so cute. She wore an Anthony shirt. So great.
Made by Matthew Teeter. Also, the Taste of You shirt made by Matthew Teeter.
Right.
That is a good photo. I like that a lot.
Yeah, and then there's this photo. They both have their eyes closed, so I can't tell if they're both looking for each other's glasses and the other one's belly, or somebody dropped a contact, or if they're about to kiss, or if I don't know. But we got a lot of great photos. I love this photo of Dan. This is a really, really cute photo of Dan. I don't know why it posted.
Where's his face?
I don't know why it posted so.
Did you just get like the neck down?
Yeah, I don't.
I love this photo of Dan. You can't see his face.
It's the way it posted. But it won't let me do it. So, well, But we had a good time. It was a really good time. We blew it in the escape room by 8 minutes. Was that right?
A little bit more than that, but oh, it's a growler style headless photo. That's what you're doing for Dan.
No.
Dan is not into growler because he does not enjoy that kind of experience. But that's more Dan's forte. But
Oh,
I guess
they were kissing the whole time waiting to go in. I got multiple pictures.
Was that pre the event?
Yeah, so this one was pre-event, and this one was after the event.
They just couldn't get enough.
Yeah. I love this picture of you and Paul.
I also love this picture of me and Paul.
Yeah. Paul looks great in that photo. It's so nice. I also have another picture of you and Paul. Where is
Paul,
it?
what is it, Paul?
Well, I was gonna just comment on my attire. My cover ruse was I was doing an audio gig that day.
Yeah, so let's go back to that because there's a lot more setup that was involved for this.
Oh
event.
yeah, tell us all about that.
So the reason why I look like that is I had to dress for an audio gig, so that's why I'm looking.
What audio gig did you get?
I didn't get any audio gig. It was me.
I know you didn't get one, but I'm asking what did you tell him?
A previous director I worked with asked for my services again, and they went through to me directly instead of going through Josh last time. So yeah, it was.
So Josh didn't get his agent fee. What I'm
He
hearing.
didn't. This was all me.
I mean, that's fine. I want him to get direct sources and all that. Paul is a one when Paul's not acting and doing other amazing things. He's also a freelance makeup artist and a freelance sound recordist, and he's been booking gigs recently, a lot of them for sound and all. So it was very natural for me to assume that they liked him so much that they were doing another project and wanted him back. He even talked to me about what he should charge the person. It wasn't just sort of like a oh, I've got this sound gig coming up. It's like I've got this sound gig. How much do you think I should charge this person? What did we charge them last time? Do you remember? I've got, what are we doing on June 3rd? Can I do that? Am I booked or anything that day? I'm like, no, you're not booked. I'm going to be doing something that day, but not you.
Sure.
So funny.
So this was weeks ago that he did this. This is like 3 weeks ago that he told me that he had this sound gig. So I'm like, cool, that's exciting. I'm so excited that you have the sound gig coming up.
I love that.
So he packs all the equipment, he brings it with him, and he leaves for the day. And I'm like,
Charged all the stuff the night before. I did everything like I would normally do.
Yep, he charged everything up.
Wow.
It might be why they weren't charged fully for Sunday.
What are you talking about?
Well, they maybe would have
The
lasted.
audio was all ready to go.
Oh, that's true.
Audio was ready to go the day before, 2 days early.
So Paul had this whole plan in place for how to get himself out of the house. But then unfortunately what happened on Saturday morning?
Tell us.
Well, I was set to I thought I'd set my alarm to get up at 9 a.m. so I could go get a haircut, come back, shower and all that stuff, but I set it for weekday alarm, so it was the weekend. It never went off, but luckily I got up a little bit after 10, and I just nixed the haircut. So I'm like, okay, no haircut for me. That's it. So yeah, it could have been disastrous, but I got up early enough.
Well, I'm glad you did. Was there anything else that you had to do to I guess the thing that I really want to highlight and give you an opportunity to talk about is the guy that took this photo. Tell us about how you looped in the guy from the escape room.
Oh, Madeir, I think was his name. Well, this is a long one. So normally, what I would be doing when Josh's birthday is quickly approaching is I would take the reins and plan it with him, what he wants to do, whatever, blah blah blah. So normally, like, what do you want to do for your birthday? Like, oh, I don't know. He wasn't sure what day or what to do. So he settled on a restaurant and a date finally, but like a day or two later, he goes, you know, what would be awesome if we could do an escape room for my birthday. And I was like, oh, what a great idea! So now I'm just like, oh shit, you know, escape room is on his radar. So he's researching the shit out of it. He's got 30 tabs open
Well,
for
to be fair, I always have 30 tabs open. Um,
yes. So
but in this
basically
case, there
now,
are 30 tabs of escape rooms. So
so I'm just like, oh shit. I know I got everything booked. I gotta what am I gonna do? So he had to use the bathroom. So I knew I had a few minutes to go. So I went through every single tab and I started from the back of the tabs list, and I'm like, the one that I booked wasn't there. The first one he opened up was. So I was like, oh no, what am I gonna do now? He knows about this place. It was fairly new. So I just like, I'm just gonna delete a bunch of random sites. So I deleted that one and a few others and hope he doesn't come back to it. So that was the challenge, was him not noticing when he came into the building that didn't arise any suspicions.
So
So that was a big part of it.
so you had to um basically engage in like some spycraft to and some hacking, I take it, in order to do it. That's incredible. Wow.
Yeah, I had to steer him in a different direction,
How did
even
you get
though
him? How did wait? Tell me again. How did you get him to leave the computer open?
he had to use the bathroom, and he just went there, and I leaped into action because I'm like, all right, I'm taking this, and I'm just glad that then the first tab he had was the very place I just booked. So I'm like, oh, what am I gonna do now? So
well,
basically, I just had to forge a way for him to get into the building rushing through because I didn't want him. Yeah, that's right, big boy project. I had to get him to be rushed through the premises without him taking in where he was, and I think I accomplished that.
Uh,
you absolutely did. Yeah.
Josh, from your perspective, let's take two. Let's take two notes here. One, tell us your thoughts on that moment. Do you remember going back to your browser and thinking like, oh, was there another site that I'm forgetting?
So I had already discounted this site because Paul was on top of me to be like, look, you need to start planning your birthday, and I'm like, I have to plan I hate having to plan my birthday because I don't want to make people do things, and also I'm scheduling Brooklyn Butcher. I need to have spent I'm spending so much time focusing on scheduling for filming that I don't have time to schedule myself. So I'm like, fine. He's like, well, why don't we do this or this? And I'm like, fine. So the one day that we have available that I had available that made logical sense was June 17th. It's That's 10 days after my birthday. For those who don't know, my birthday is this Wednesday on June 7th.
Oh, that's right. I meant to say that.
So I thought, okay, so if I do June 17th, because I'm filming on June 10th and June 11th, I have to film because some people are only available that day. In fact, Anthony J. Serio and Joshua Stur are in the episode we're filming on Saturday, and they literally have one day in common for the entire summer, and that is Saturday, June 10th. So I can't film that day, and then I can't film the Sunday because I couldn't do a party on Sunday because of more filming. So I said, okay, June 17th, and then of course that's the day we're seeing. We have tickets to the cinema to see a feature film coming out that weekend.
Flash.
Yes, The Flash.
Yeah.
And so I said, well, I suppose what we could do is we could go to dinner before the Flash and then go to the Flash afterward. That's sort of like a nice nightcap on the event and everything like that. And then I thought, you know what? Maybe we could do an escape room earlier in the day because I do love escape rooms for my birthday. They're so much fun, and I love escape rooms in general. So I started looking for horror and difficult escape rooms in the city. And I know that I pulled up this one. I know the one that we pulled up, the penitentiary. I pulled it up, and it sounded awesome. But I'm also like, but it's in Manhattan, and so to go from Manhattan back to Queens for dinner, and then to South Brooklyn for the Alamo Draft House for the cinema, it's just impractical to get everyone doing that all in one day. So so I tried to find. So I had already discontinued that in my head. So when I got back and it wasn't there, it made logical sense for me because I wasn't going to do that one anyway. So I guess part of me must have thought I closed it. Part of me just must have already discontinued it, so I didn't even think it was there anymore. And so I started focusing on Queen's rooms, but then I'm like, well, there's just too much to do in that day. So I said, Paul, we're just going to do dinner, and I gave him a restaurant, and then I said, make sure it's at 5 o'clock because we have to get to the cinema at 10:10 to see the motion picture. So
Why don't you just say The Flash?
the film, the motion picture, the movie, the Flash, anything. I always refer to things like that. So
okay, so that part's out of the way. The second part of this question is now tell us what it was like from your perspective with this Medi guy.
Okay, so since he was aware of this escape room, I needed to make a scenario where they were running late for this live podcast he was doing. So what I did was I pushed the departure of Stuart and Josh from the apartment by 15 minutes to give the illusion they were running late, and had Stuart bring Josh into the wrong building next door. So I needed a way to usher them fast. So I think I've accomplished them by running a little late. So basically, I needed someone that Josh didn't know to come out and to act as a PA for this podcast that he was attending. And I gave him a script, and I just rehearsed it with him over the next hour a few times. He nailed it, and from what Josh and Stuart told me, that he did a great job. And bravo, my dear.
So I don't think everybody knows what I thought I was doing on Saturday.
No, we haven't talked about that part just yet because I did want to, talk about more of that side of it when Stu gets here, since it's really his connection,
Yeah.
Sure.
So we should definitely wait on that. But I am curious, I was joking with Medi saying, that was your Crewniverse audition, but would you consider him like a good actor?
I mean, I was convinced that we were late, so
Yeah.
I'm also
What did
always
he say to you?
I just hurry up, get in here. Zach is waiting for you. He's late. You're late. We have to get this started.
What was, I mean, like in a like a kind of like
he was very stern, very gruff, very unfriendly, and I'm like, oh, bollocks, we are running late, and I am not really I'm not a huge fan of running late to things or not being on time. I was pretty chill about the whole thing. I was since we did our Sirius XM interview, I felt very comfortable now doing something like that. And I thought, okay, I'm going to be fine with this. But then I'm like, we're running late. I'm like, oh, well, this is not good. We need to get up there and do this.
I just wish that we would have thought to put a camera up against the back wall from when you walked in, so that we had footage of him rushing you through there.
Shit.
Because I was thinking to myself, there's signs everywhere on the way in that clearly say you're in an escape room.
I didn't see one of them. I was so focused on getting upstairs because he said that we're running late. And I am very anxious when it comes to being on schedule. That's something that's very important to me.
I had him turn off all the accent lighting that said the name of the establishment, the rooms. I'm like, shut that light off, shut that light off, shut that light. I was just like, I want to minimize his exposure to anything to do with an escape room. And I
Yeah,
think we accomplished that.
I think so.
You did. I did not notice a thing. Usually, I'm reading. I read a lot. If you haven't known this, and so I see signs and I read them very quickly as I'm walking by things. So I did not. I legit did not notice single sign because I
Wow.
was so focused on. He had me so nervous about that we were running late.
Mm.
I was also probably getting a little anxious because we were about to do this podcast. So I was like, I need to get ready to be in my game. But I was getting into my game mode, and then I'm also like, oh, wait a minute, we're running late. So that sort of sends me off my game mode. So there's a lot of emotions going on, so I booked it. And then Stuart was behind me, and then I'm like, well, Stuart's really going first because I don't know these people.
Exactly.
That's
And then
funny.
I knew
So
the people.
when
I
did
knew all
you?
the people. So
So we can actually see the moment that you switched. By the way,
mhm.
Yeah, we can see your feet. Yeah.
we could see in the video that you stop at the top of the stairs and let Stuart go first.
Well, because I was thinking, well, they don't know who I am, so let me not
Right.
burst into this room
Well,
and be like, sorry, I'm late.
but just so you know, had you not done that, Stuart was already clued in that he was to come in first. So we were prepared just in case. Paul went out of his way to basically set up a system that was like, nobody says surprise until you see the ginger in his eyes, basically. So like it was we were directed to make sure that it was not said for Stuart.
Well, the nice thing about it is there was a curtain that because I saw the video in reverse, so
Right.
there was a curtain that you can see our feet. So Stuart and I have very different legs, so
Right.
you could tell who was coming in at least.
Yeah, but like for Robert and I, we were behind
You were on
the
the
other
back,
people.
yeah, you were in the back.
Yeah, so we were the surprise on top of the surprise.
You were.
And I wish that we originally, we were gonna be in the bathroom and come in like a whole minute later after you, and be like, "Oh, I guess we missed it," But we were worried that we would somehow somebody would forget to notify us, or we wouldn't
In the
hear.
bathroom.
We would just be in the bathroom waiting. And Robert did not want to be. He didn't want to be. He wanted to be in the room and see your face as quickly as possible.
I'm glad that you did. I'm glad that you were in the room. I think that was the better choice.
Yeah,
You would have missed out on all the fun.
right. And I actually tried to record it from our and Robert. Wait, you know what? Did Robert send me his video from his perspective? Hang on one second. I think I might have missed that one. Robert filmed 2, I believe. But when I went up, I actually hit the button and turned it off. So let's see if this is Robert's here. Oh no, this is this is from that fucking escape room. It's a video of the first card that was in the box that had the really tiny writing.
Yep.
Yeah, no, I thought there was a video that Robert had done from his angle, but I don't see it, so I'll have to double check with him. I did make a little compilation, a quick little edit of your entry into the room, and so when Stuart gets here in about 15 minutes, we'll take a look. Right now, we're going to take a break, and I want to remind people that not only can you go to SideKickSupermarket.com to buy T-shirts, but right now, all Sidekick Supermarket merch is 10% off as part of our celebration for Pride. The code is Crewniverse Pride right there. We do have actual Skeleton Crew Pride shirts. We need to get a Crewniverse Pride shirt.
We do.
We need one.
Matthew Teeter about
Matthew
that.
Teeter, paging Matthew Teeter. But definitely go check that out. And until then, right now, let's check out a little trailer for a little thing we call Dueling Pianos.
You can call yourself a chubby chaser, even if you're not a twink. You wanna hurt me? Well, I say yay. 8, 6,
is the best sex. That's what they say. I'll say it once, I'll say it twice. So listen to my advice. Come here, just a little bit closer.
I'm a laugh machine, I'll leave you tickled pink. Let's clown around if that's your king. We can clown around if that's your king. Yes, you can say that I've got daddy issues.
Oh, there it is. There it is. Dueling Pianos, the musical Joshua and I co-wrote together. So much fun.
From the Skeleton Crew universe.
Speaking of the extended Crewniverse and possible new people to be a part of it, when we were talking about Medi, there was somebody else recently that we were talking to. There was somebody else that we were talking to about being on one of the shows. Who was it?
I mean, a couple people. We often, that's usually one of your first questions for people is that one of our most recent guests, you mean?
Yeah. Oh, Z Machine said yes. Yeah. Oh, but
Yeah.
Chris Condi. Actually, everybody said yes.
We actually have cast somebody from a previous show on the Brooklyn Butcher.
Oh, okay. Tell me about that.
We have Defeer is going to be part of the cast.
Oh, that's incredible. If you don't remember, we had Defeer on as our second week's guest with Chris Condi. And Defeer has a new book, Theater While Fat. And Joshua was part of that book, as well as some other actors and theater folk. Go check that out. Also, I did want to do one other thing that we talked about last week. We are still looking for an editor. So if you are an editor and you would like to help and become a part of SideKick Power Hour, you can send us an email to casting@sidekickproductions.org. We're preferably looking for somebody who has video and audio experience, but we will say, up front, we really need someone to help us to edit what you see and hear each week on SideKick Power Hour Live into our new podcast that we are working on called SideKick Power Hour. So we would love to hear from you. If you've got experience, great. If you don't have experience, that's fine. But if you think you can pull it off, we're interested in talking to you. I met with someone today.
Did you?
Yeah. It was our first date, if you will, our first editor date. Guy named Casey was on my fan page, just posting about, podcasts and stuff. And I was like, well, let's talk. So
that's an awesome idea.
I told him to tune in tonight. He may be watching. I don't know.
Oh, if he is, hopefully he will comment.
Yeah.
Say hello.
But yeah, we definitely need the help because we are busy folks. We got lots going on. I'm in the middle of trying to finish an album. I'm in the middle of finishing an episode. I need to finish all the episodes of Demon Doctor so we can just get caught up.
And there's 6 more left after that. So 7 more left after that.
But this one is 50 minutes long.
It is not that long.
It's 30 minutes long, Josh.
There's a big difference between 30 and 50, Nakia.
Not when the rest of the show is much shorter.
Well, this is such an important episode because it features so much of the backstory of 2 fan favorite characters.
Well, it really does. One of which is played by an actor who's in the studio with us tonight, Paul Antzoulis.
That's right. This fellow right here.
So Paul's character, Xander on Demon Doctor, we get a little bit more insight into how he met Sergio and
origin stories.
Yeah. And we get to see another member of the Crewniverse enter into the Demon Doctor world.
We do, yes.
In this episode, so really excited about that. I I could show just a little something, if that's okay.
Yeah.
If you think it's showable, then sure.
Well, I don't know if I'd call it showable, but let's
A taste.
take a let's.
A taste.
A taste
Nibble.
of youth. I mean, a taste of
Nibble.
It's not, none of this is even remotely mixed, but let me find something from it because I feel so bad because, it's so late. I don't want to call anybody out and name anybody, but I've basically become the person that I complained about the most when I was working on another show.
Oh, that's right. I do remember that.
Yeah.
Oh.
So anyway, let's take a look.
And just for record, he wasn't talking about me.
Or was I?
No, because rarely, if ever, are people waiting on me for things.
So let's find one that might be a little bit more together.
Paul's excited. I can see it in his eyes.
I haven't. Gimme.
Gimme that thing called love. I want it. That's from Thoroughly Modern Millie, Nakia.
I see. Okay.
Well, no, you heard. You didn't see it. Thoroughly Modern Millie is the where Sutton Foster, I believe, won her Tony Award for.
Okay.
It is a very musical that was really popular back in the early 2000s.
Okay.
And Sutton Foster, if you don't know her, is probably most famous right now, maybe for the TV series Younger, where she plays. I don't know. It's on TV Land. It's a TV Land series, but it's been on for like 5 years. I don't actually understand the premise of it. I think, but I know she's been on it. She also did a show called Bunheads about ballerinas.
Bunheads?
Well, yeah, because they wear the bun. So
gotcha. I love it.
Her brother is Hunter Foster, who was the star of the Urinetown musical.
All right, I'm gonna try to play a little something.
All right, let's make it. Let's make magic.
Let's see if I can make this work. Hang on.
You got this.
No, I don't have this yet. Hang on one second.
Well, to quote, "How to succeed in business without really trying. I believe in you."
I am so happy to hear it. How do I make this bigger?
For those at home watching, How to Succeed in Business Without Really Trying was my third musical when I was in school. It was also the smallest part I had. Because
They're all no small parts.
You're right.
Aww.
You're right. That's correct. But at the time, it was frustrating because they only cast people in the leads because they were seniors that year. And not because they deserved it or earned it, but because that's how the teacher wanted to be that year. Never before has she only cast people as, in leads as seniors. So,
okay, I'm going to try something here. I don't know if this will work. So here we go. Tell me if you can hear what you're about to see. Okay. Let's minimize.
No, I heard nothing.
Okay, do you see yourself?
I see myself in the green room. Yes.
Okay, make yourself full, or make it present with me on the screen too.
Okay.
And you and Paul.
Yes, we're all here.
Okay, because all I can see is my screen.
I gotcha. I understand what you're doing now.
Tell me if there's audio though.
Sure.
I think so, but I'm going to mute me and Paul.
Mute me as well. Oh, no, don't mute me.
I'm muting now.
You sure are. I tried to get him to change his mind. But Gregory was so stubborn. Rich humans, they're used to getting their way, you know? This isn't right. She's not the kind of person just make a deal with. She's not a person at all. Her help. I won't be.
Should we do these? All right, let's do this.
Sorry, Serge. This is all mine.
Oh, my mistake. Please, continue.
Well, excuse me, but you are in my way.
Where is Gregory?
Who's Gregory?
That human that you agreed to turn into something magical. It's been 3 weeks. I haven't seen him anywhere.
Oh, yes, Gregory. Oh, I'm afraid he didn't make it. Look, not everyone can survive the transformation.
This can't be happening.
Oh, but it can be happening. Okay, take me out. Are you still there?
Sorry, I was muted. Paul's also muted, but he's unmuted now. FYI, that moment where that happens right after that very next second is a magic effect. So
I know. Yeah.
I figured you know that, but I thought since I had the moment and it was here, I would just mention it just in case.
Yeah. And that's I just recently this right now. You may have noticed this. I don't know. There's very little Foley or effects here. I'm mostly been tweaking dialogue and adding music and what do you call it? Room tone and ambience. There's a couple of things. The lighter and the that was not in camera. That's me. The music, you know, I have a new music thing that I'm trying out. It's called Epidemic Sound.
Mm-hmm.
I need to see if they have a referral code because it's super cool, Josh. So check this out. So with Epidemic Sound, like the saxophone that you heard, you know?
I heard, yeah.
Okay, so that's a whole song. But I didn't want the whole song, so I selected melody and it just plays the saxophone part and it just exports the saxophone part.
Oh, that's fancy.
Or I can export the stems and then mix them as I need them.
Huh.
Yeah, so
Okay.
you know, I want to bring up the guitar for one part, you know, or whatever. It's very well done. But so far, and it also has sound effects. But so far, I don't know if it's a motion array replacement.
Gotcha.
Because motion array has a lot of other stuff that this doesn't.
True. We have
it is really cool.
We also I haven't told you yet. I have like lots and lots of downloads from Bandcamp for sound effects.
Oh, cool.
If you want, I will have to connect about that and see. Paul, what did you think? That was one of the scenes from this episode.
I look great. So I love how it looks. Yeah, I want to see more.
Well, you will eventually.
Can I get a date?
Between now and the end of the year.
You will get it. You can get a date because I'm going to finish this episode this week, so it'll be this Sunday.
There you go. It'll be this Sunday on Patreon.
On Patreon. So that's if you want to see all the videos before everybody else does and get behind the scenes exclusives and bloopers and deleted scenes. There's going to be an entire movie that was cut from A Taste of Youth. So
practically,
yeah. So
there are so many things that we've cut from A Taste of Youth that make it a better film. Not because, again, we've talked about this already, not because the scenes were not good, but because to make a movie, it's about taking all these different ingredients and making it into a great final product. And sometimes a great ingredient is not always matching with other things. Because, as case in point, cakes. one of the things Paul was trying to talk about. Paul kept talking for weeks. He's like, I think I'm gonna bake a cake. I think I'm gonna bake a cake. And I'm like, why would you're obsessed with baking cakes right now? He's like, maybe I'll bake a cake to try for your birthday. I'm like, okay, if you want. And he's like, what kind of cake do you want? And I'm like, I guess chocolate, maybe with strawberries. And he's like, okay. And then he's like, what about chocolate and peanut butter buttercream? Would you eat that? And I'm like, yeah, of course I would.
I found
Absolutely.
a recipe that I wanted to try, and since his birthday party's on the 17th, I had plenty of time to prepare.
But then I'm like, are you maybe?
Hang on a second.
Oh, Nakia has to step out. In the meantime, Blachu Bear is asking a question about me. Did I do a funny thing happen on the way to the forum in high school or college? Well, I appreciate your question because not only did I do it in high school, I also did it in college. This was oddly enough a show that I did my junior year of high school and my senior year of college. In my junior year of high school, I played Hysterium. Where I was able, if anyone knows the show, Hysterium is the high strung and hyper person who ends up being put in drag at one point and pretending to be a woman to get another woman off to safety. So I get to sing a whole song about being lovely while wearing a dress and all. My high school teacher, my high school history teacher, talked about how I was the ugliest woman he'd ever seen on stage. And I said, thank you for that. That's really thoughtful of you. But I love funny thing happened with the forum. Now, if you don't know what the show is, this show is a Stephen Sondheim show where basically it takes place on stage with 3 different houses. One of the houses is an old man's home. Who's been off on a journey around the 7 hills of Rome. One house is the main character's home, and the slave Pseudolus and Hysterium, they work there. For the main characters. Well, Pseudolus and Hysterium are the main characters, but they work there for the owners of their owners. And then the third house is the House of Ill Repute, a bordello. Now, we did this in a high school. So one of the things in order to get approval to do this play this musical in a high school, we had to rewrite the script a little bit, which is definitely a no-no. You should never do this, especially when you're buying rights. But I was in 11th grade and I wasn't really paying attention to this kind of thing because I wasn't responsible for it. So then what happens is we changed it from a man who was a brothel owner with all of his prostitutes to a man with about 7 dozen adopted daughters.
Oh my God.
And the whole thing was
kind of creepier.
It was very creepy. And we didn't change any of the songs or anything. So there's a whole song about everybody wants to have a maid, and we're talking about that. And there's this whole sequence where the 7 daughters, where the daughters, where the prostitutes are doing a seductive dance for the Pseudolus's owner, so that way they can sort of make him buy them. And so instead, it's about getting betrothed to them. It was a very bizarre change that we made in that. When I did this my senior year of college, they did not feel I sang very well, so they cast me in the only role that didn't sing, and that was the old man who runs around the 7 hills of Rome constantly. Unfortunately, I've never played Pseudolus, but I would love to do it one day. It is a very funny movie with Zero Mostel. If you know Zero Mostel from Fiddler on the Roof, he plays the slave Pseudolus. So.
Well, you do have one thing going for you that would help you with that role.
What is it?
I know what a bitch lover ought to be. I know what a bitch lover ought to be.
So I have to say I'm super excited because we are now to the part of the show where we're going to bring in our good friend Stuart Kiczek. Stuart obviously was, as we talked about earlier, huge part of the surprise party. Would not have been able to happen without him. Of course, Stuart is a longtime member of the original SideKick family before there was a Crewniverse to be had, and so we're always glad when he's on with us. And tonight we're going to see if we can twist his arm to maybe do another Stew Snacks. We'll see. So let's definitely try to pull that off. But without further ado, let's welcome in Stuart Kiczek. Oh, look at that
Hey, guys.
shirt.
You know what? Did you plan that your hair color was going to match the blue on the shirts? Did you
I
plan
did
that all
not.
that time ago?
And I did not plan that Josh was going to give us a brand new, first ever coupon code to Sidekick Supermarkets. Just head over there, sidekicksupermarket.com. Get yourself a Sebastian Jupiter shirt if you like.
It is on there, so
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys, these are soft, these are comfy, these are good for all occasions, whether it be sleeping in or going to the beach or going for a night on the town.
Yeah.
They're
going to a
applicable for
surprise
everything.
party.
Or a good old surprise party when and if you can actually pull them off.
David Addison Small says, "Yay, Stuart!"
Hi guys, what I miss?
Well, you missed us talking about things that were not necessarily related directly to your involvement with the surprise party. We do want to talk about the surprise party and some of the planning and how it all got pulled off. But I think it's important that we take a minute actually just to show the moment that it all actually culminated in the said surprise. And so this is nothing fancy. I just literally took everybody's video that sent them in and tried to sync them up and cut them the best way that I could in less than 15 minutes. So
guys, wait, hold on. I've been wanting to this is a culmination moment for everybody at home, and I don't know who here has seen this.
Nobody.
This is me finally getting to see this. I was there. I experienced it. I saw a small snippet of what actually was on the other end of the camera, but now I get to experience this with you guys and finally get to recollect and really relish in this moment together. So let's do this.
okay. We are going to do this. Hang on one second. I'm going to also get ready to share something else. Okay, here we go. This is the first time you guys have seen this.
Got you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Josh. Happy birthday to you. I didn't dress for the occasion. Oh, you're totally on brand. You did. You did.
You guys at home don't understand what an amazingly huge culmination moment. That little second of Josh just like walking into that room, and you didn't see. I wish we could have gotten a flip of the other side of seeing like
I know
15 plus people.
we
in
didn't
this
have
half
it. Yeah.
half circle shape with all their phones out and all the balloons and everybody just recording and going ape shit. It was really nice. So it doesn't really you capture Josh, you see Josh, but you don't see is everybody else going crazy seeing him.
I think there are a few people that didn't send in video because I did see some people doing video of us.
Yeah.
But we should have thought about that. Just set one up of us. Yeah.
Right.
The other thing that I told Paul earlier was we should have also, like, basically when you open the door to go into the building, I wish that I would have set a phone filming just down the hall up against the wall that, like, you wouldn't even notice when you open the door and just kept walking.
Yeah.
You know, we had video of him being rushed in.
All right, look, I'm not going to start nitpicking. The fact that we were able to get one over on Josh, the fact that we successfully pulled one off on getting one over on the untrickable, unsurprisable person, you know, that was almost more of a gift to us than it was to him. So, you know, we gave that gift to ourselves for his birthday. So, you know,
well, I mean, you did a great job. I did have a question. Did you guys did you let the building next door know what was happening?
Oh, no. So, okay. All cards on the table. Here, wait. Sorry, I was full screen because I didn't want you guys to see.
We should probably start with telling, because we haven't told people yet what we thought we were doing. What I thought I was doing with you.
What? Yeah, how much do you guys want to know? Do you want to know, like, what?
So what we don't want to know is what the original plan.
No. Shh. Yeah. You don't get to know everything. No.
Right. So tell us at what point that you remember the original plan switching to this one, and then tell us how you helped to bring it together.
Okay. Now, look, there was several weeks, if not a few months, of plotting and planning and scheming and workshopping and creative compromising and idea bubbles going off and cunning and thwarting and figuring out and troubleshooting and really trying to come up with just this thing, this concept that was an idea. And it was, okay, it's an idea, it's a concept, but how do you materialize it and literally practically apply this into a plan, right? How do you execute this on a practical scale? So Paul, being the mad genius that he is, and because of how much he loves Josh, he really, you know, was the heart and soul of this whole thing and wanted to do this for him. And he approached me about this. And, you know, I was the first person that he had, you know, let in on this. And from the get-go, we just started bouncing ideas off of each other. And
what parts of each other were you bouncing them off of?
The squishier ones, because they were the most, you know, bounceable and you know, had the most inertia. So, you know, it started as one thing and obviously culminated into something else. But in the meantime, there was this, like, you know, Knives Out style montage of events for several weeks of us, you know, coming up with ideas, certain things not working, certain things working, certain things going terribly differently, certain things going perfectly well, certain things going, you know, in ways that we would have never expected. And anyway, I can't boil down several weeks of cunning, planning, scheming, and you know, all of that good jazz. But what I can tell you was that what we landed on was a very good streamlined idea, which was that I was going to that Josh and I were essentially invited onto a podcast of my comedian friend, a local New York City comedian friend of mine has a popular series of podcasts that he does on Gas Digital Network, and one of which happens to be this one called Bye Guys, which is a group of comedians, local New York City comedians, and it's focused on sort of bi related topics. And you know, they touch on sort of gay stuff or bi stuff, but not really a lot. And my angle for this was that, you know, he's a friend of mine. He wants to bring me on. He wants to bring Josh on to cross promote and do gay stuff for Pride Month and talk about the Chub Chaser Bear community, and wanted some insight from us on that whole thing, and, you know, to gay it up for the month. And you know, I approached Josh about it in terms of like, hey, Josh, you've done a lot more podcasts than I have. I'm nervous to do this, but I want to do it. I think it's exciting. I think it's cross promotion opportunity. I think it's synergy. I think it's good branding. I think let's do this.
I said, Stuart, stop talking. I don't need to be convinced. I will do any podcast ever.
Right. So I, of course, knowing me being me, was laying it on way too thick, was saying way too much, and all he needed to hear was, oh, cross promotion opportunity. Where do I go? Where do I sign up? Where do I start talking?
Exactly.
Right. Synergizing brands. He heard some buzzwords and he was like, where do I go? And he was all set. So we put that in motion. We literally sprinkled in planted those seeds, laid those breadcrumbs, and we very meticulously just started pulling those strings and manipulating and puppeteering and doing what we could to thwart his expectations and get him to just be perceiving things a certain way. And look, you all know that Josh is very smart, he's very savvy, he's very cunning, and so you know, to get one up on him was quite the accomplishment. And you know, it happened. So you know.
So yesterday, Stuart's like, I'll get to your place at 4. I'm sorry, Saturday, Stuart's like, I'll get to your place at 4, and then we'll head out and be there for about 5. I'm like, okay, cool. So he's like, he gets there more like 4:15, and I'm like, okay, well, Stuart, I'm used to a few minutes of lateness. And then he comes upstairs and then he sits down, and I'm like, why are we just chilling out? He's like, oh, I clocked it. It's only about half an hour from here, so we can leave around 4:30. I'm like, oh, okay. Cool. And then he starts going into this whole thing like, I'm so nervous. I mean, I know this person so well, but I'm just so nervous about doing this podcast. And you have so much more experience than I do at this point about these things.
I had to stay in character. I was thinking this through at every single possible layer and level. I literally was like, I have to walk in there with an iced coffee. If I don't walk into Josh's apartment without an iced coffee, he's gonna know something's up. Josh is that savvy. If I don't walk in literally status quo without a freaking iced coffee in hand and a donut like ready to go, like, hey guys, what's up? It's me, Stuart, doing Stu stuff. What's up? Hey, he's gonna be like, something's up, something's wrong, something's out of the ordinary, something's suspicious. You being sus, bro? What's up? I'm not, you know.
Something's up with Jack.
And so I'm sitting there like, okay, I have to calm Stuart down right now. Okay, this is
right. And also,
to calm him down.
I know I'm a decent actor, but I'm not that good of an actor. So I knew I was going to be walking into the situation with some amount of nervous energy or some amount of anxiety that he was going to be able to read. He was going to be able to see that. So I was like, look, he's going to read that. So I have to play that up. I have to let him know, oh, hey, that thing that you see, that thing that you're hearing, that thing that you're reading, oh, let me flip it and admit that it's there, but thwart his expectation and tell him that it's something else, so that he reads between the lines and says, oh, that thing that I'm seeing Stuart is something else, and I'm identifying it as this. Oh, it all makes sense. There's
You're getting so deep on me, Stu.
So then it's like 4:30, and I'm like, Stuart, shouldn't we get going? And then he's like, I need to check my phone and see if I got any messages from Zach. And I'm like, what?
Which was me having to adjust because we had to have padding on the timing of everybody showing up, everybody being in the facility, so that I knew that I couldn't start moving you from point A to point B until everybody was inside, because I couldn't have any stragglers.
We did have
walking down the street and just being like, oh, hey, Kelvin, what are you doing here? Oh, hey, Ashley, you just happen to be in the neighborhood? So nice to run into you on this lovely Saturday afternoon. Lovely.
In this case, it was actually Mark Eugene who was saying, that it didn't look like he was going to be on time. And so Paul was actually trying to just say, like, just in case it happens to anybody else. Now he pushed it back, and I'm glad, because Mark Eugene did not make it on time. So, and that could have happened.
Right.
So we finally get an Uber around 4:45, and I'm like, okay.
No, it was, I clocked it. It was 45 minutes exactly. We left exactly at 4:30.
We did not leave at 4:30. We did not.
No, it was 4:30-ish. We got caught in some traffic.
4:45.
We were supposed to be there exactly at 4:15. We arrived at 4:19. 5:15. Sorry, 4:30, and we got there at 5:19 exactly.
So we're in the Uber, and then Stuart doesn't even have the car drive up to the place. We're at our stop sign, and he's like, we can just get out here. And I'm like, why do you want to walk? And so I
like walking sometimes.
So we get out and we walk. I mean, it's only a block, but it's like, why are we walking? Then he's like, I think it's that building with the lights there. I'm like, okay. So we go inside this building, and he asks for the location of this place.
All right, wait. Real quick. Stu, give us a little of this performance. So
Action.
Oh, look, I think that's our building. Oh, that's where we've got to go. This is what Josh is hearing in his head, because it sounds like a fucking Muppet in his head, Oh, hey, look, it's the building. Okay, so I see the building. I'm like, all right, bet, because Paul was savvy enough. Look, we were thinking about it on such a level. Paul knew what building I needed to shoot for as the fake building, because when we scouted the location, we realized that the escape room place that was the event space looked like an escape room place. So, but the building number right next door looked like an office space. So I walked into the office space, and I didn't care how dumb I looked. I walked up to the concierge and was like, oh, can you please direct us towards Gas Digital Networks on the second floor, I believe. And the freaking doorman, who didn't care, Gas Digital Networks doesn't exist on the second floor. He just said, oh, go right up. Sure, go to Gas Digital Networks. Sure, go to Gas Digital Networks on the second floor. It doesn't exist. So I had to stall, because
I marched to the elevators.
He starts going to the elevators, and I go, wait, because he's going to get on the elevator, and that's it. That blows the cover. So I go, hold up, wait. Oh, my friend Zach, he said, hold on, somebody's coming to bring us up. And then, of course, Josh felt good about that, because he's like, oh, we're getting the special treatment. Somebody's coming to pick us up. That feels great. But then we're standing in the lobby, and literally, because more than like 90 seconds goes by, I start getting timid and nervous that too much time has gone by, and I start getting jittery and bouncing, and I'm like, shit, this is going on too long. I got to do something. And so I messaged Paul, and I'm like, where's the we had our we had somebody from the escape room. We had a plant from the escape room come out and pretend to be a PA from the podcast network, tell us, oh, come with me, I will take you to the recording studio, as if they were like an assistant to my comedian friend to get us to the recording studio, which was dope. It was like the perfect thing ever. But they were standing right outside the door. We were in the lobby of the fake building. So I'm texting Paul like, where are they? This is taking too long. And he's like, they're outside. So then I'm standing there, and I'm like, oh, hold on, Josh. Hold on. Wait, I think I'm going to call Zach. This is taking too long.
And I'm like, why is Stuart outside to make a phone call? It's so much quieter in the lobby than it is in the street.
Yeah. Why does he care? Why does Stuart suddenly care? Hold on, Josh. We're waiting way too long. This is ridiculous. He shouldn't have to wait this long. Let me go. Let me go get this figured out. Yeah. So I go out the door, and as I'm halfway out the door of the fake building, he sees me getting signaled by the fake PA, who's the plant from the
Manny.
Right, Manny, the awesome dude who was our plant from the escape room. And the escape room guy is great because he's totally about it, and he starts going, "Oh, Stuart, you're Stuart, right? Yes, I recognize you. Go, come with me. Zach is waiting for you." And he played it so well, the guy from the escape room, that Josh heard someone's waiting for you. You need to hurry. That Josh bolts, like literally, he just like speeds up and literally like fucking like goes like full speed
I wish
ahead.
we would have filmed this.
And he is like going faster than me. He goes ahead of me. And he doesn't look at the signs. He doesn't look at the door. He doesn't look at the entrance. He doesn't look at the desk. He doesn't look at any of the signs. He doesn't look at anything on the anywhere. And so he's literally just booking it. And I'm like, what do I do? Do I get in front of Josh?
Tell
Do I
you to
stop
go
him? Do I say
upstairs?
anything?
He did.
What
He
do I
brought us
do?
to the stairway.
Oh, gotcha.
And then pointed to the
Right.
stairway and said, "Go
Right.
up."
So he's taking him to the door, to the staircase, and Josh is in front of me, and I'm like, shit, do I like go in front of Josh, or do I like let him go, or do I direct him? Do I like push him ahead? Should he be the first one to go? Because the whole plan was that I be the first one into the door, so that like, you know, I'm the first one in, because it would be a little weird if Josh was the first one in. But anyway, Josh was so gung-ho to go that, like, you know, he's just bolting. I'm like, he's got shorter legs. I can't keep up with him, you know. So he's going fast. You can see in the video.
My thinking is like, Stuart is taking too long. He needs to follow me faster. So if I walk faster, he's going to follow me. Like,
You do walk really fast. You're the first person that I've met that walks faster than I do.
So as you can see in the video, the steps, Josh is literally ahead of me up the stairs on the second landing, and then I swoop around in front of him and I do my like, oh, okay, whew, oh, because I already know the layout of the place, and I act dumb like, oh, where are we going? Oh, I see, I guess we're going over here. Bloop, bloop, bloop. And I go to like make my way through the tarp thing, and then boom, there we are.
And then the first thing I see, of course, is there are so many cameras in my face. I'm like, what's going on? Why? Oh, this is what this is.
So wait a minute. I'm sorry. Do you mean it for a split second? You thought that you were the podcast people were all pointing cameras at you?
For a split second, I did. I'm like, why are so many cameras on me?
Even better. That's even better.
Of course, for a second, he was like, ooh, yay, they're all taking video of me. Like,
and then voila. and then you see my reaction. And the first thing I'm thinking, of course, is like, I did not dress for this party. This is not how I But I also thought, I'm really glad that I got a haircut yesterday. These are all things popping through my head, like, oh my god, this is incredible. This is the most amazing thing ever. I am so beyond excited. And also, thank God I got a haircut yesterday. And thank God that why am I not wearing a different outfit? And
I just wanted Josh to take the face.
Oh,
there was this face. If you know Josh, it's not like bashful or embarrassed. It's this like he curls. He does this little. It's this half curl on his lip back where it's like, oh, you bitch. Like, kind of like, oh, no, you didn't. Like, you like it because it's basically indicative that you got one up on me. Like you got me.
Let's watch. Let's hang on. What you could see it happen.
At the moment he does it.
Okay, hang on 1 second. I wish it would let me. Now you can talk. Unmute yourself.
Stuart and Paul, you have to unmute yourself.
Okay, there he's shocked. He's shocked. He doesn't know what's going on. And there it is. There, he's tucking it. He's tucking it. There it is. He's tucking it. He's trying to hold it. He's trying to hide it. He's trying to hide it, but he can't hold it. It's intense. It's too intense. And I knew he's hiding it. Okay. Oh, yes. Yes, and what you can't see is we decked out, we got a bunch of Golden Girls themed decorations everywhere.
Yeah.
Because we're good. We're good at what we do.
We went through some photos before you got here.
Stuart has never seen the Golden Girls until this year, so
I have, but because of Josh, he's gotten me to recently like sit down and actually watch it. So there's been this synergy of like Josh's love for it and me now watching it like in order. And so for the party, we're gonna really do it up. And so look, me and Paul are good at party planning, it turns out, and him good at what he does, and me good at what I do, and us coming together and doing this together, like
they were incredible. They did such a good job. I am amazed that they got one over me like this because I'm so in the loop on anytime there's a single noise on set. My first reaction is, "What's wrong?"
That's true.
So they,
Josh's primary greeting is "What's wrong?" Josh doesn't say "Hello, how are you?" Josh goes, "What's wrong?"
It was a lot of fun to watch in real time for sure. I'm so glad that we were up there to see it, and it was a lot of work on everybody's parts, to keep the secret. And really appreciate everybody doing that. It's so great to see, just how much people, really love each other as a part of this world that you've created, Josh. And there's, it's really beautiful, and it's. People, have real deep feelings for each other. And
whoa, what's this? What? Wait, what do you have this nice, sweet, sentimental, and then you punchline it with that picture.
Oh Lord,
what's going on there? Who is that?
You were in the photo.
Oh,
what's going on there with you?
No, that person doesn't wear glasses. That's not.
I do have another little video that I wanted to share with everybody.
Something else compromising?
No, this is just this.
Oh, y'all, this cake.
This cake was incredible.
Literally top 10 cakes of mine.
I wish I'd have taken a piece home.
It was heavy.
It looked heavy.
It's one of the thickest cakes I've ever. And I've had some thick cake in my day. That sign is backwards. He's 4 years old.
I am 4. Yes, that's correct.
He's Benjamin buttoning.
That cake was exquisite. As somebody who generally goes with ice cream cake because ice cream cake is beyond compare, that cake was absolutely exquisite.
All right, but you're saying was like you guys have finished it off.
Well, we haven't. No, we still have pieces in our.
There's no way that you finished it off. It was huge.
It was a massive cake.
Yeah.
But so good. Peanut butter, buttercream, and chocolate cake.
It was like a Reese's peanut butter cup on steroids.
I'm sorry, did you say Reese's?
Oh, Reese's.
Reese's.
Okay.
Reese's.
And about you, Bear, I have 2 more days because Wednesday is the actual day. So I have lots of time still to be 39.
And yes, that was a pick from the upcoming season of Skeleton Crew.
No, it was not. But we do have something that is from something that's coming up from
We
Skeleton
do.
Crew-ish, Crewniverse-ish.
Crewniverse.
Let's take a moment to watch.
Wake up! We're making something.
Yeah, no, I was thinking.
Oh, we're live.
I'm thinking.
We're live.
Oh, we're live?
We're live.
We're live.
Oh, hi. Hey, we're live. Hey. Oh.
This is the set of the Brooklyn Butcher in day one of filming. If this is how the rest of the days are going to go.
Is it over yet?
I don't know.
God, help me.
Oh, God.
Help me, please. Help me.
See you at the end of the season.
Oh man. You can get all this kind of stuff over at the SideKick Patreon. Join us at the Crewniverse. You get exclusive BTS, bloopers, script read-throughs, soundtrack demos from the upcoming Taste of Youth. When we get that stuff happening, you'll be the first to get it. So we really appreciate your support, and we appreciate Josh being here with us. This is SideKick Power Hour Live. We do this every week on Monday night. We've got some really cool shows coming up. We've got Dominic Burgess and Big Dipper. We've got another couple that I wanted to announce tonight. Let's take a minute to do that. The next one I wanted to announce was, make sure it's right, the right profile. I think this is it. Yes. Okay. So the next person, and let me make sure I've got the date right. They will be on the show June 12th. So next Monday. So we're going to pull Paul and Stu back in here. The next guest to join us on SideKick Power Hour next week is my dear friend Dorian Wood. They I think they use she, they pronouns, and incredible artist, very, very politically active, and very just really out there doing it. When I think of like true artists in the world, Dorian is one of these people. Is one of those people. This show they did in Austin, I filmed this. Actually, this is them doing a Dolly Parton song. So fun. So they'll be here next week, but that's not all. We will also be joined by another really talented artist, and who's also very politically active. I'm super stoked we have them on the same episode. Caleb DeCasper. And I thought I was already following Caleb DeCasper. Maybe I'm not logged into the right Instagram account. But Caleb is incredible. Incredible.
They inspect for dirt. Everything that you have kept within has been labeled as a sin. But you are on your way to be a strong femme gay. Insecurities you can transcend.
So this song sounds completely different in the other context. I'll see if I can find it really quick. But, this is...
Welcome, introduce yourself, and go ahead with your testimony.
Hi there. It looks like I'm going to bring this thing home.
They are. I really, really, really love Caleb. So, really excited about next week's guest. Both never been a part of anything, in the Crewniverse. And that's kind of what we're really shooting for in a lot of this season is to try to bring in new people that don't know what we're doing, tell them what we're doing, but also let them tell us what they're doing. And that was really great last week.
Art.
Huh?
Just spread queer, fat positive, and sex positive art. So
Yeah, and that was really great last week with the guests. We had Joseph and Gray on, and they were both fantastic guests.
But you know who else are fantastic guests? Stuart and Paul.
Yes. And guys, we want to talk about something else that you're involved in to help round this out this evening, because I know Stuart has to go. Let us cue up a stew snack, shall we?
Oh, well,
yeah.
Which one should we do?
Well, I'll have everybody know we do have new stew snacks on the way. We had our first batch of episodes that were.
Have we watched all of those?
I think we have.
We have watched. We have premiered all of the currently available stew snacks episodes. But what we have on the horizon are a series of. We realized. Well, Paul took it upon himself, and Paul and everybody behind the scenes at Stew Snacks. Thought that the general consensus was that the items that we used in the first batch of episodes were a little too easy and were a little too plain for everybody's liking. So, because the first batch of episodes of Stew Snacks, Paul took it upon himself Paul and his team of cohorts took it upon himself to present some very challenging items for Stuart to snack on. And so I'm currently working on editing those episodes together, which should be out in a couple weeks. And I assure you guys, I snacked on some things that I never would have expected to ever snack on in my entire life. And you get to see all that and all the hijinks that go into that kind of thing.
Welcome back.
Actually, you guys are close. You're real close. I actually don't want to spoil
the show where my friends serve me food and I have to guess what it is.
I don't want to spoil what the items are because you'll see them soon. Oh, it's funny. The octopus salad seemed like such a challenge now, but man, that was easy compared to what I had to deal with before.
So, Paul, how do you feel about the next round?
Stuart was talking shit kind of with the first batch, and I kind of wanted to save the best for last kind of a situation. So when he kind of was, overconfident in the first batch, I'm like, okay, we might have to adjust some of these.
Yeah. He's going to take his gold off.
Yeah.
Get me my Vaseline.
So we started off the season slow, and we definitely ended strong. That's just that was my goal, and I think I accomplished that. We accomplished that.
I will say, John, it is not a shame we cannot get authentic haggis in the USA.
I know a place. I know a place in Little Britain. I can get us some decent. Sorry,
what a great show.
I know a place in Little Britain in the West Village where we can get some decent haggis if we really wanted it. Josh does not want anywhere near authentic haggis.
I don't think I do either.
But I'm really excited to see this next batch of episodes because I helped film them, so I know what's in store for everyone, and I know that Stuart definitely ate his words. He ate some and then other things as well.
So you teased us with a Stew Snacks episode. We're not going to get one?
Not tonight. No, we're still waiting.
They're in post production, and we are going to get them done soon.
Yeah, I was misinformed.
so excited for
Yeah,
another
but
episode.
you did get tonight. To be fair, tonight we did get a sneak peek at episode 5 of season 2 of Demon Doctor.
Yeah. And we got to see the first day on set of The Brooklyn Butcher.
I didn't even get to see that. Even I was there.
You filmed it.
You were in it.
You were in it.
Maybe I still want to see it. Send me a link.
Well, I will post it on all of our things, and then you'll see
You
it.
could just send it to me.
Or just rewatch this episode later.
I will do that as well.
Do that too. It was very interesting. We accomplished a lot of things on Sunday, and I've already started looking at the footage, and it's quite thrilling. I can't wait for people to see the Brooklyn Butcher. It's a show that I am very, very, very excited by. So,
Well, we've had a fantastic show this evening. I'm so glad everybody has been with us. We definitely are looking forward to.
I've had both those things. Those aren't that crazy.
What both those?
Chitlins and Scrapple.
Oh, I didn't see. So Josh is supposed to be reading these comments when he puts them up, but he just puts them up.
that's not true. I read them when I can, and then sometimes I don't want to speak over you. So,
Well, we got to figure out a better system though, because
Most of our audience can read.
no, but some people are going to be listening. This is also a podcast, so some people are just going to be listening.
Right.
So we got to make sure that we are
Right. Well, it was suggested that I try Chitlins and Scrapple, to which I replied, I've had both those things already.
And if you're suggesting it, it's in his head already. You got to reach me to give me the idea to put
true.
on for him.
Yes, anybody? Okay, yes, I will put this out here right now. If anybody out there that's listening has ideas for stew snacks that you think are good, both international and domestic, please contact Paul directly and tell him, either DM him, IM him, whatever. Contact Paul directly and let him know what you think.
Or you can email casting@sidekickproductions.org.
And let him know what you think would be a good idea for an upcoming Stew Snacks segment.
That's right.
Oh, wait. Right here.
Yeah. Okay. Well, since we have had a long weekend, and this has been a family episode, we're going to wrap things up, and then we'll be back next week with Dorian Wood, and we'll also have Caleb DeCasper. Really excited about that, and we'll probably have some more video. There are some other videos and things that I haven't shown yet from the Joshua party, but we also may use some of that for Patreon. So don't forget to go over to the Patreon and join if you haven't already. And also, please don't forget to Sidekick Supermarket all month long. When you order anything, use Crewniverse Pride to get 10% off. We'll post that to social later this week.
There will be some new Demon Doctor merch coming this
Yeah,
month.
guys, spoilers. I don't care if I'm spoiling this. Josh has some really great new shirts in store. I particularly am very excited about them. And if you're any bit as enthusiastic about certain characters, you're going to love what's in store. Trust me.
Well, this is news to me, so I'm excited as well.
Wow. But if you're looking for something to get me, I mean, this is a great way to join the Crewniverse and be on our Patreon, and that's a great birthday present. So
yes, get yourself a T-shirt to show a happy birthday to Josh,
or just become a subscriber. That's you could do that. That'd be great. And you could always, if you really wanted to, and people still do this on a regular basis.
They do.
You could also make a donation to PayPal or Venmo or Cash App.
Kick it old school.
We are in the middle of production of, we just started production on a new show, so any little bit also helps with that too. So
give a little bit. Okay, let's take 5 seconds. 5 seconds. I'm gonna give a song that Stuart. What is one song that you think Josh that you think everybody knows, but that Josh won't know?
But that I should know.
Can I have
So we're talking about a classic, right?
Yeah, something that you think is like everybody knows this song, and it's, and Josh will know it at least, if not love it. 10 seconds. What songs should Joshua know about this week? I'm going to do a real quick lightning round of things, and then I got to go eat.
Your Woman, White Town.
Oh wow! Well,
Sedate by
which one?
I Want to Be Sedated.
Okay, so let's start with your woman. I could never be your woman. Dun, 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 dun. I could never be your woman. Dun, 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 dun. Does that sound familiar?
Not even a little bit.
Okay, that's a really great song. What about 24 hours ago? I want to be sedated.
I know this song, yes.
Okay, awesome.
How about Painter Man from Boney M?
Who?
Painter Man from Boney M.
No, don't know that one. Any in the comments before we go? It's now become a game where I'm also a jukebox.
Wow.
Nakia is our jukebox musical.
You gotta be a jukebox hero.
What about White Town? Oh, that's already done that one.
Yeah, we already did that.
Also, don't forget, if you are on the Patreon, Chunkahedron has created a Spotify playlist of all of these songs.
Oh, cool.
Oh, shit, that's cool.
So you go to the Discord and you'll see the links to the songs that we've been talking about.
Yeah, that's fun. No, definitely subscribe to the playlist because it's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
I do know. Is this the song that is the woman from American Idol and the cat dancing?
Yes. No. What?
But it's a drawing.
You talking about Janet Jackson video?
No.
Dual video?
That's it.
Yeah, no.
American Idol, and she's dancing with a cat, and then it's hand drawn and everything.
That's opposites attract.
Okay.
All right.
Then I don't know this song.
All right. Well, we'll add it to the list.
Put it on the list.
We'll see everybody next week. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
And that's the tea.